guys, welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Let me go on live. Hello. Hi guys, welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. How are you doing? I'm on Facebook now. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, great. Can you guys hear me on Instagram? Want to make sure you guys can hear me. Here we go. Volume is up. Hello, beautiful. Can you hear me? Wonderful. Hello, hello, hello. Monica Romo, can you hear me okay? Just want to make sure you guys have. Luis Valdivia, hola, ¿cómo estás? Saludos. Can you guys hear me okay? I just want you guys to click yes, you can hear me. Livy, how are you? Hola, okay, perfect. Hello, hello, everybody. Hi, guys. So literally, I was just acknowledging the sunset and just being grateful to God for all of our opportunities that we have here. So awesome, great, great, great. I'm so happy that you can hear me. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. We'll just wait a little bit. CSW Lice, how are you? Let's see who else is on Facebook. Okay, beautiful, perfect. Well, thank you guys for joining. Thank you so very much. This topic, oh, hey, it's Gabby T. How are you, beautiful? We'll talk about that in just a bit. We'll talk about the topic right now in just a little bit, but I definitely want to wait until a few other people jump on, and as everybody's jumping on, thank you for the gorgeous. Right back at you. Misael Gomez Martinez, how are you? Welcome. I always like to ask, if it's your first time, please post on here, first timer. If it's not your first time, put committed, so that I know, like, for example, I know Gabby T's been on here before. I know Livy's been on here before. I know Monica's been on here before. Luis Valdivia, I know you kind of go in and out. You know, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're not. But I know Livy's on here pretty regularly, and I love to see that. I love to see who's on here. Yay! First time, MS Joy 1028. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. I'm very grateful for all of you. Committed. I love it. Thank you, Gabby T. Committed. First timer. Oh, great. Jazzy Leah. That's, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Noemi, how are you? Maribel, I love how you put that on there. Well, wonderful. Thank you guys for jumping on. And for those that it's your first time, welcome. For those that are committed and have continuously supported Wealthy Wednesdays, I appreciate you guys. And thank you for listening to all the tips, all the different perceptions, or perspectives of just different topics. And I just want to say thank you again for tuning in and giving me, 30 minutes of your time, 20 minutes of your time, sometimes a little bit longer, it just depends. So our goal is to provide value to you guys as much as possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, and also if you're watching this on the replay, just want to say thank you guys, because I know I watch a lot of different things on the replay, and I love it. So I love watching replays as well. So thank you for your time. I'm going between back and forth because let me just make sure I have this phone here on correctly so you guys can hear me, see me. You guys should see my little setup. I buy all these little professional things and then realize I get frustrated with them, and I go straight out old school, just throw on the phone wherever I can fit it. So for Brit95, thank you, welcome. Wonderful. All right, well, I actually have an extra chair here because my husband wanted to be on, but he got a phone call from one of his clients. So if he tunes in, great. And if he doesn't, no big deal. The show must go on. So let's definitely get started. For those that don't know me, LOL, no ring light. Yeah, so I bought a ring light. I got to just talk to you guys about that story. I bought a ring light, and I was like, yes, we're going to get this going. Gabby was here at my house when I got it. I was so excited. How often have I used a ring light? Never. This is my ring light right here, my chandelier at home. Anyways, Marley, if you guys can see him. So if you're on, wait, this way, whatever. Our dog, right here, right here. You guys can see him right there. So he can hear Dad outside, and he's waiting for him to come in. So pardon me. Oh, here we go. He opened the door. So he's super excited. He's probably going to bark a little bit. Sorry, guys. But welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays, and he's coming in, so it works out great. Hey, welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. Rima the Realtor. Awesome. Come on in. Sit right here. Sit right here. Sit right here. Come on. So awesome. All right. So we're about to get started in just a bit. So he's just petting him, because he's going to need that. And then come over here. Maybe you can pet him over there on that side. All right. Hi. For those that don't know, my husband is right here. His name is Remo. And I always tease him because, not tease him, but he's a realtor, so Remo the realtor. And that's his whole little tagline. And
my sidekick.
And your sidekick, Marley. Hey. Anyway, so welcome, guys. You want to say hello? Welcome.
Hello and welcome.
Do you recognize any of these names?
I don't have my glasses on.
You don't even wear glasses, my God. So let me go ahead and adjust the phone for Instagram so that he can be able to be in the picture. And then, hey, Irma, how are you, cousin? And then this way, you want to come in a little bit more, honey?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Mr. Martin?
All right, great. Thank you, guys. Wonderful. So for those that don't know me, my name's Eva Macias. I own Eva Macias and Associates Financial and Insurance Services. I know that's a mouthful. And I'm also the author of A Latina's Guide to Money. You can get a free copy if you go on my website, you put in your email, and we'll send you a free ebook if you'd like the free ebook. If you want to purchase the book because you still like books, you're more than welcome to purchase them through Amazon, or whenever you step into my office, we always have books, and you can actually get them in my office for $20. So yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. So we're going to, for those that, like I said, don't know my husband is, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm the janitor of the house, and
True.
I'm the janitor. I take the trash
you do take out the trash, so you are the janitor of the house.
I'm the janitor of the house, and
I'm the assistant janitor.
When big packages come from Amazon, I'm the one that brings them in. No, I'm in the world of real estate. So our real estate team helps families either buy or sell. And if you're a Yelper, we have 150 five-star reviews on Yelp, so you can check us out there, and we love taking care of our people. All
right, so why did I bring my husband into this mix? And we'll talk about it right now, since the topic is who is life insurance for, right? And the month of September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Hey, ayuda en español. So September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. And for those who maybe don't know too much about it, or maybe that do know something about it, I wanted to do a kind of like a little series of, there's water here for you. I wanted to do a little series about really explaining to people what this is, right? And obviously we're a married couple, so, and we used to think differently about life insurance and all that good stuff. But last time we talked about what is life insurance, and today we want to talk about who is it for. So last week, what's life insurance? It's really an income protection. Okay, that's really what it is. It's income protection. Today we're going to talk about who is it for. So a few things. A few things is, first of all, who is it for? If you're a parent, meaning if you're a wife, if you're a husband, if you're a mother, right? If you a parent, pretty much. Also, one of the biggest things I get is, well, I don't want to insure my kids. Okay, it's also for kids, by the way. Also, if you're single and you don't have any assets, I'm going to tell you why it is important to get life insurance, or why it is for you. Also, newborns are able to get life insurance after 2 weeks. So you're probably wondering, why would I want to insure a newborn, a 2-week baby? For many reasons. It just depends on the financial goals. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to buy life insurance because I think my baby's going to pass. Not about that. There's different types of policies for different people, and that's what I wanted to talk about. My niece says, hello, Remo.
Hello, niece.
It's Emily. So also, something for you to understand is, for grandparents or those who have parents who are much older, life insurance is also for those who get a little bit older, but there is a maximum limit. So insurance companies know that you're closer to what actuaries have actually done their homework and saying you probably will pass at the age of, let's just say, 90. And if you're 80, you have a 10-year span. So some insurance companies will not insure you if you're over the age of sometimes 80, maybe 85. It just depends, okay? And the different types of policies for that. So I wanted to bring my husband on because when we first, I wanted to ask you, you got your life insurance when you were single. So he got his life insurance policy, but his experience wasn't the I'm going to buy it because there's a purpose, right? So tell him a little bit about how you bought your life insurance.
I had a good salesperson. That's really
No, but tell him really.
well, it was pitched to me that there's a future investment component that was to it that I thought was attractive.
Okay.
What also was attractive, that was something that kind of struck a chord, which is insurance is always cheaper today than it is tomorrow. And what that means is you're at your best health for most people at this moment of time than they will be tomorrow or the next month or the next year, because we just age.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with age comes a slowing metabolism. You maybe put on a pound or two, and so you get to a point where when you come do your test, where that's how you get rated for your insurance, it might be a little bit more expensive tomorrow than it would be today.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so during that time, I was, I don't know, maybe in my early mid-20s, and so I was really healthy, and so insurance was really cheap.
Yeah. So see, something he said that's really important is it's true. Life insurance is usually based on two things. There's other variables to it, but the biggest things are your age and your health. So that's extremely important. And obviously from when you got it up until now, have you had maybe some health concerns at all? Like, maybe you've gone to the hospital a little bit more, maybe your back hurts a little bit more, or maybe like certain things have happened?
No, I don't. I'm perfect. So I'm good. No, nothing of concern. I mean, I broke my collarbone playing basketball.
And that was after you had life insurance?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, that didn't.
Yeah, that's like a broken bone.
Yeah, but nothing traumatic where anything changed.
Yeah.
Did I answer the question? Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, you did. So one of the things is to understand that life insurance is based on age and health. So the earlier you get it on, so there's a few things. It all comes down to financial goals, right? And another thing comes down to, can you afford it? Because at the end of the day, you can read the Susie Ormans, you can read the Dave Ramsey's, you can read
Eva Macias.
Hey. But you can read like whatever financial book, and we're all going to have a different idea about it. One thing you said that's really important is to understand that in a financial plan, right, the biggest thing is, let's just say you're able to afford it, but let's just say in the future you're uninsurable. That's why it's so important to protect yourself early on for the longest period of time. There are different types of life insurances. We're not going to get into that quite today. It's going to be more at a different time, just so that you know. But today it's who is it for now. This is not easy to talk about, but I also want you guys to understand that it's necessary. I know when we got married, right, we talked about it, and I remember saying, and you remember saying, like, we were just joking around about this, but when we got married, so I had also my life insurance early on, one of my life insurance policies. I got it when I was, 11 years ago when I started. So I got it because I understood the value of the exchange.
I got insurance before you did?
I was 27, yeah.
I was like 21 or 22.
Ooh, actually, I would have gotten it, but I had a bad experience. I did not get it. Wealthy Wednesday knows you should have tuned in last week, and I could have told you about my life insurance experience. Anyways, but I wanted to get it in my early 20s, but I didn't get it because I unfortunately, they were trying to recruit me so much in the company that I was completely turned off by life insurance. It wasn't until I educated myself and got to know more about it that I got it. So I got one. When we got married, we got one, and the conversation really was, you're getting this? When we got it, when you and I got it, it was more like, hey, you're going to get this, this matters, this is important, just sign here type of thing. Obviously, there was a trust factor, but we obviously believe. Oh,
you were telling me that?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was telling you, just sign here, we're going to be okay, we're going to be good. How much can you afford? And it was just it was a different conversation.
Yeah, especially when you volunteered to pay for it. I was like, well, are you setting me up right now?
That is not true. I do not pay for your life insurance. So I share this with you because we were single before we got married, and then our lives, we had different expenses or different just financial goals. So at that point, we were able to say, you know what, we need a little bit more, right? So if we were to sit down and talk about why did we get this, is because now our household really, we bring in two incomes, FYI, statistically, men die before women. Okay. And
not in this household.
And I remember saying one thing to him. I said, look, if I love you when I'm alive, I want to be able to love you when I'm gone. I said, I don't care if you and your Sancha in the future, like when I'm dead, right? I was like, I don't care if at that point you do whatever you want with your next wife, as long as I'm dead. I literally said that, and I really mean that, because at the end of the day, you must be willing to, like, you love them unconditionally. You love them in the sense that you want to make sure that they're taken care of when you're gone, and vice versa, right?
Not in my world. So my response was, no, Sancho's getting this money.
and that's very, and I was talking to Ayuda en Español. We were talking about how in Latin cultures, and my husband's Egyptian for those that don't know that, but in certain cultures, like, that's just like, I'm not leaving somebody with all this money for somebody else to enjoy. And it comes from a very selfish place, really, because at the end of the day, and I can't remember the who to credit this to, but there was a study done where actually people who have life insurance, death benefits payout, end up actually, since they're able to take care of themselves, they don't end up actually trying to find a partner to be able to take care of them, because of the fact that they can take care of themselves because there was a death benefit payout or some sort. And I do deal with older clients, and for those clients that actually have become a widow or widowed, I notice that they're at an age where they're comfortable being alone, and if financially they can be able to sustain themselves, then they actually will. But then I have a client who at 66 got married. That's, hey, more power to those, and love lives at any age. So it just depends on your situation and your scenario. Now, why would you want to get life insurance on kids? And I think this is important, is because death doesn't discriminate. I understand. I talked about life insurance as an income replacement. Your children are not bringing an income to your household. Thank you, by the way. Querida Los Angeles. And I understand your kids are not bringing an income. However, most households don't have sufficient money saved up in their emergency savings account, or they consider a credit card to be some sort of emergency savings, which is not. And so if, let's just say, there's a child who passes and the parents can't financially afford $20,000, $15,000, because the cost of those goods also increase, just so that you know. And that's really important that you understand, because it's not like, oh, the cost of life insurance, or the cost of like those services, all of those services are going to stay fixed. Those also increase over time. It's inflation. So it's important that, and I personally know a few people who have lost their children, and some of them have been accidents, and some of them have been through health. I know I met someone years back, and they actually had a pool, so their child actually drowned. Really unfortunate, 2-year-old little boy completely drowned, right? And the mother was not prepared for that. Then I had somebody who was driving, and they had a car accident, and the only one that passed was a child. So these are things that are unexpected events, right? Also, your children over time can get ill, right? There's so many different things. I want to make sure I see what you guys are posting on here. So I'll go back and I'll actually put that on there. And why I'm a really big fan and believer about, if you have kids, right? If you have kids, kids depend on you. So if you're a parent, remember, I know a lot of the times you're like, I don't want to leave anything to my husband, or I don't want to leave anything to my wife. You can leave the beneficiaries to be your children, okay? But who's going to take care of your children? Your spouse. Now, if you're divorced, you can definitely leave them to your kids. I see this in parents where they get a divorce and they're like, I don't want my ex-wife to get this, so I'm just going to cancel the policy. I'm like, then why don't you just change your beneficiary to be your children? Just a thought, you know what I mean? And so if you're a parent and you have kids and there's someone that relies on your income, it's really important. I'm going to talk about the single person syndrome, and I'm going to talk about that because I actually had a client, and she read in a book, and some of you have heard the story. She read in a book that single people shouldn't have money, or shouldn't have life insurance. They should have money, but they shouldn't have. And I was like, what do you mean? Tell me more about that. She goes, yes, I read it in this book, and it was geared towards women and money. And it talked about how they don't need life insurance. So why waste your money on life insurance? And my comeback to that was, what they don't know about you is that you still live with your parents, okay? If you were to die today, you don't have enough money in your savings account, in a 401k, in any type of asset account that you can leave to your parents. And your parents are on a fixed income from Social Security. So if you were to pass away, what happens is that they are now responsible. They're going to be responsible, first of all, on a human level, to bury their daughter. And because of this, you don't want to leave your parents with this $20,000 burden. And so for her, she couldn't understand that. And she actually ended up canceling her policy. Isn't that so crazy? Like, this could happen to anybody, right? So some of the things for you that you're single, especially if you're single and you're living at home and you're working, that means you can afford a life insurance policy, right?
And you're probably for most people that live at home with parents, they're probably helping in some way. So after some time, the parents kind of depend on that additional income. So when that person either moves out and kind of leaves a coop, or unfortunately something like that were to happen, then all of a sudden that income that they were expecting is not there. And so it's not the cost of the burial and all the stuff that comes with it. It's the loss of income that they are going to experience and the adjustment they have to make.
Absolutely. And you're right about that. And I even think about it because it's true. If you're making a contribution to your household, which, every household is different, but for the most part, those that do live at home make a contribution to that. So it's true. Your parents will definitely need that. Also, I'm going to talk about if you've had an illness in the past. If you've had an illness in the past, whether it's been cancer, for those that don't know, recently, I'll post the link as well because I think it's really important. Someone who created, a founder of the Women Expo, actually just got diagnosed with cancer not too long ago, Christina Brophy, and I got a chance to meet her a few times and just really contribute to her cause, and then all of a sudden her life changed, right? So I talk about that because if you've had cancer in the past, some insurance companies will take a look at that and they'll ask, like, when were you out of remission? And you could potentially be able to be insured if you're out of remission. So I think that's really important to understand because most people check themselves out just because they maybe have had cancer in the past or they've had some sort of condition in the past. I currently have a client who suffered multiple heart attacks and very young, in 30s, and she literally was like, I went online, tried to apply, got denied because online, and I understand this, you're going to put your information, you're going to go into this thing, you're going to fall into a particular category. When you're actually sitting down and saying, what are my needs? And now we're looking at what you can potentially qualify, we send them to different providers. Every provider has a little bit different of a qualification. So it's really important that you understand that. Also, this is really important. If you've had speeding tickets or multiple speeding tickets, you may be healthy, you may be young, but if you have multiple speeding tickets,
you're a risk.
Yes. And why do you think you're a risk?
Because you're speeding, you're reckless. Someone that's reckless is more likely, unfortunately, just from on the statistic, if you have a thousand reckless, let's say 20-year-olds, and 1,000 20-year-olds that are not reckless, that don't speed, those that are that reckless group are going to more of those will pass. Yeah,
they have a higher probability of passing. So again, I've had a client who was like, I wanted to get $1 million life insurance, and he could afford that, but he couldn't get insurance, and he was in his 30s, and his thing was like, why? I don't know why. And after I did some research, I realized, well, the reason why you haven't been able to is because of your speeding. You had like 3 speeding tickets in a very short period of time. And so he's like, yep, they're mine. So I literally had to show him that if he waited a certain period of time, he would be insurable as long as he was healthy and still qualified for other reasons. So that was really important for you guys to also know because that is important. If you have aging parents, I know, your parents are, how old are they?
My dad's 79. My mom is 70.
70? So they're in their 70s, okay? My parents are also older as well. My mom, I think, is 70, in her early 70s, and my dad's close.
Early 80s.
Huh?
Your dad's older than my dad.
Yeah, my dad's in his early 80s. Yeah. So both my mom is in her early 70s, my dad's in his early 80s. So we have aging parents, right? They're still active, but they've had some health concerns, right? And some health concerns that, like you mentioned, right? They one thing trickles into the next thing, trickles into the next thing. So for parents, you're not going to get an 80-year-old and say, I want a $5 million life insurance policy. The life insurance companies will actually question that, okay? They'll say, why $5 million or whatever, $2 million? Now, if you're trying to get 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, they may still question it. Why? Because a lot of people or older parents, they're on a fixed income. So they actually have to take a look at their assets as well. Okay. So for example, if you're like, I just want a final expense policy. I just want to make sure that if my parents were to pass, that there's money there so we can take care of their burial expenses because maybe they already took care of their plots, then that's perfectly fine. You can actually, there's certain life insurance companies that will insure you for less than a certain amount. So it's like less than $35,000. Some of them, and they work with the elderly community. What do I mean by that? They know that maybe they have high blood pressure, cholesterol, things like that. They actually don't even do blood, blood work. What they do is they actually do a questionnaire, and you got to answer it truthfully, and then that's when the insurance companies can potentially insure you. So for all of those that sometimes have these misconceptions of life insurance, that's so crazy, right? I know somebody asked me recently, or I saw a post saying, but life insurances, what is the saying? They're kind of like, I don't want to say crooks, but like they just keep the money, right? It's not even that they keep the money, guys. I want to help you understand this.
This is life insurance companies?
Yeah, I got a post from someone asking me, or they send me a message. I know I saw it on social media, and it was like, but like, I don't believe in them, or something to the effect of like, why, if they're the ones constantly like making money, like I don't want them to make money on me. And I'm going to share something with you. Life insurance companies. Yes, babe. Why are you laughing?
I'll give them.
Please give yours, please.
No, I think life insurance policies, as someone says that.
Sorry.
The idea of life insurance is, I think of it like Vegas. You know,
like Vegas.
Vegas doesn't need to win 100%. They just need to win 51% of the time.
They what? Say that again?
They just need to win 51% of the time, not 100% of the time.
Oh.
So, and that's a law of numbers. If you have enough people playing into it, not everyone's going to pass at the same time. So I went on a rant there. So
my husband's so crazy.
Yeah.
You just want to go to Vegas, I think.
That's why I smiled, because you're saying that. I'm thinking, yeah, Vegas doesn't need to win 100% or 60%. They just need to win 51%.
And it's not even this. This is what happens. So life insurance, remember, your habits are horrible. My habits are horrible. I don't go to the gym. I mean, that's my biggest thing, right? So there are certain habits that we have. How often do you get a life insurance policy and maybe you're like, I don't think I need this, and then you cancel it? So all those premiums, you're not going to get them back if you have a term policy. So what I'm saying is, you've already given that. If you have the proper life insurance, right, and you should, again, life insurance is very similar to car insurance. It's, if you need it, it's going to be there. If you don't need it, then great. That means that nothing happened to you. But life insurance is going to be the guarantee, given that you're properly protected and given that you have the right insurance policy. I have a scenario where someone had work insurance, but what they never did was they never read. All right, you read what's going on here.
No,
you can't be distracted on your phone and then be on Wealthy Wednesday.
All right.
You're going to be Wealthy Wednesday banned.
I got a text message from Gustavo. I think he's on. That's
what did he say?
He says, that's right, Vegas always wins.
Oh my God. So
you can get me in trouble now.
Gustavo, you have to text up after Wealthy Wednesday. You got to do the interaction on Wealthy Wednesday. So anyways, so what it comes down to is the fact that they've never read that the policy, once you get it from work, there's certain stipulations, there's small fine print and everything, right? And at the age of 70, that person was no longer going to be insured. This person died, I believe, at 71 or 72. So what happens? The life insurance is not going to pay out because the term ended at 70, but they never took the time to actually read the policy because they thought, oh, work has it for me, I'm good to go. So they left the responsibility at work. I've had other clients where they're like, oh, I have life insurance, but what they don't know is that it's actually a decreasing policy, which means when you turn 65, it's going to decrease by maybe 10, 15, 20,000. Every policy is different, okay? Maybe when you turn 70, it's going to decrease, and maybe the base amount maybe only be $10,000. Every employer's life insurance policies, group policies, are completely different, okay? And so this is why it's important. A lot of the times we end up, one, not committing to the life insurance the way we're supposed to, or you get a policy, then you cancel it, which sometimes you have to replace it because there's something better, and that money will stay there. But you have to understand those payouts will pay out. This is why it's so important to do business with a reputable insurance companies, okay? Super reputable insurance company. Something else I want to talk about kids as well, that I just triggered this, is there is guidelines that change, so your children cannot be insured for more than the parent. You cannot just get life insurance on your child and then you as a parent not get life insurance. That's just crazy. So the parent has to have insurance policies, and usually they have to have double the amount than the child. And there's a maximum of life insurance that you can potentially have, and I believe the maximum could be up to $250,000, but there's still a little fine print to that because there's it depends on the policy ultimately. So I'm going to just read the comments because I want to see what you guys say on here. So you bought life insurance when your baby was a month old. Congratulations. That's awesome. Bought life insurance for my daughter. That's so awesome. Preach, I love talking about this. What life insurance do I recommend? First and foremost, I recommend that you come see me because I can pretty much shop around for you and show you the different types and then find the better companies for it. I don't represent one company. I have access to multiple. Right now, I think I have access to about 15 companies, and I keep adding them. I don't use all of them just because some of them are a little bit better just in overall than others. So to answer that question, it would be very difficult for me to answer it because I don't know your financial goals and I don't know how life insurance would be part of your overall financial plan. Northwestern Mutual, term insurance, not whole life. Okay, so I don't know. Let me see what else. Let me see. Ramona, a power couple. Oh, thank you. Let me see who else. What else did you guys put on here? ¿Qué más? Ayuda en español, but and the premiums on employer plans stays the same, although the amount is reduced. Great, thank you for that. So Ayuda en español, she deals with employee benefits, and she says that the premiums will stay the same, but the amount will get reduced, and that's really important to be able to talk about that because most people think, I'm paying the same, I should have the same coverage. No, we just make assumptions of this, and we never really ask the question as we look at this, right? Also, one of the things is that we don't usually talk about is life insurance when transferring wealth can be a tool, okay? It's a tool to also be able to, in the future, if you know that you're gonna leave your estate with taxes, it can be a tool for that, okay? So that's where it gets a little bit more complex, and I don't wanna stay away from the topic of like, who is it for? But if your financial plan, let's just say you put one into place, there's got to be a bigger picture behind it as well, right? So I know people that will say, I want to buy a $2 million life insurance because by the time I transfer my estate to my wife or to my husband, we want to make sure that they're not going to get, and that's just more complicated and more stuff, but come see me.
And that's how you protect your wealth, through life insurance. Because if you have, and it's one thing that I learned really just recently over the last, not learned, but just a perspective as I was reading someone's comments is $1 million or $2 million sounds like it's a lot now. But if you have this life insurance policy for 15, 20 years from now, you know, homes right now are $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. 20 years from now, there'll probably be $1 million to $2 million for a house. Mm-hmm. And so that policy that you have is with the idea of what is it going to protect when the time comes. And I think, you know, someone might say, well, I only want 100,000, but that 100,000, 15, 20 years from now, when you actually are going to be needing to use it, is not going to really get you, you know, anywhere. So.
Yeah. So for those that are asking a little bit more detailed questions in regards to whole life policies and things like that, I am going to, not that I'm not going to answer your question, I'm going to save it to the next Wealthy Wednesdays only because I want to stay on topic on who is this for. So before we do anything like that, I don't want to steer off of it too much because today the topic was who is it for. So again, if you're a parent, if you have children, if you're a husband and a wife, you need life insurance. If you have children, your children need to protect it. If you have parents, aging parents, especially if you take care of children, like you want to be responsible for your family, your kids, but you're also responsible for your parents. Your parents also need the life insurance. Your children need the life insurance. So everyone ultimately needs it. The amounts, the types of policies is going to be completely different to everybody's one, financial needs, what can they qualify for, and why are you using this type of insurance. So just remember that today the goal is who is this for, and ultimately it's for everyone. Not everybody will be insured, and not everybody will qualify because of health concerns, other
Or you
things.
drive too fast.
You drive too fast, but the goal is ultimately that you are protected, and you're properly protected for a very long period of time. So anything, I know, by the way, thank you guys. I'm going to make sure for Jazilia and Monica, I know I'm going to definitely take a picture of this right now to be able to answer those questions in the upcoming Wealthy Wednesdays, if you guys don't mind. And more importantly, we just want to say, you mentioned homes, right? Be a million. So no housing market crash. Sorry, that's a whole different topic, and we're not going to talk about that, unfortunately. So for Alpha Caldera, what companies do you recommend? As I mentioned before, please, you guys can make an appointment. The link is in my bio on on Instagram, and I clicked the link. I put the link on Facebook. But I know you have something coming up, and you can actually, for those, who is it? For Brit 95. You're gonna be having a first-time home buyer. Is it a first-time home buyer?
It's a home buyer workshop, so two of them that are happening
workshop
this week. One that's happening tomorrow. So if you're interested,
No, talk about the first-time home.
yeah, it's tomorrow.
I thought it was Saturday.
Saturday, so there's two. One's a virtual one through a Zoom call that happens tomorrow. So, we have some busy families, and, as much as we would like to have an in-person one, have everyone come to the in-person one.
Yeah.
We know that sometimes the idea of having it virtual is a lot easier. So we've had maybe 3 of them, and they've been great. So tomorrow at what time? At 7 p.m. from your computer, laptop, iPad,
from wherever, most likely your phone.
From the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
You can log in, and it's a live workshop. And that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. Thursday. And then we have an in-person one. I think we have maybe 2 spots available. This Saturday at 9 a.m. we'll have light breakfast. It'll be me kind of going through the home buying.
On continental breakfast.
We try to do a little bit better than continental because
let's just keep it continental.
Yeah, continental breakfast. So that'll be on Saturday from 9 is registration and breakfast. We start right at 9:30 sharp and finish by 11.
Just if you guys want more information, let me know. You guys can go on his. Is it in your link? Is it in your bio?
It's in the bio for the virtual workshop.
For the virtual one.
Or just send us a DM.
Yeah, you can send us a DM if you want the information, and then I'll connect you guys. So again, today, thank you guys for joining Wealthy Wednesday. Anything else you'd like to say? You love your wife? She's amazing. Thank God she got us life insurance.
For the people on Instagram that you can get your phone, you want to show more?
My husband wants us to show you guys our dog. Sorry.
How good he has been. Marley.
Stop, don't wake him. He's not feeling all that good today.
Usually he's barking around. Today he says, we'll let you guys do
He's a little sick. So anyways, thank you guys for joining Wealthy Wednesdays. Again, let us know how we can be of service to you. And if you guys want more in-depth information about life insurance, I would love to earn the opportunity to connect with you guys one-on-one. And we look forward to being of service to you guys. So again, thank you guys, and have a fantastic Wealthy Wednesdays.